Hi guys, this is Grace and welcome to double page layout series number 8. We are nearing our end of this series and I hope that you're liking it. This page is also based off of a 6x6 class that I was looking at a private message board that I belong to, and it really has inspired me to look at my 6x6 paper pads in a different way and incorporate that in my double page layouts. I think it is very doable. As you can see, if you've seen my number 7 video, you know that I've created that page with 6x6 pads as well, and then this one will also be using the pads also. This one's an older pad. It's from Lily Bee Design. They're no longer in business, but I had some of their papers and the colors coordinated, well, some of it anyways, coordinated with these photos of my son and his birthday party when he was 11. So this is based off of a sketch from that same class, and the sketch called for a bunch of square papers on the bottom, and then the top was photo heavy, and so that's why I layered a lot of my photos. The photos were actually all horizontal, but I have a mix of horizontal and vertical, and so I put some of my vertical there knowing that it will be cropped later on, and then I'm just adhering or arranging my papers so that the patterns, the same exact patterns, are not too close to each other. And then of course I'm gonna put this all in white background paper. I didn't have enough papers, and so I'm going to cut out a little bit more and move things around. That white paper that you can see there is not actually white. It has a very subtle design. I think it's a dot design or maybe chevron, but you can't see it in the video because the video was a little bit, the lights are too bright, but it has a very subtle background, which is something that I really like. So I'm adding a few more pictures. I think overall I have 2, 4, 6. So I have 10 pictures in this page, which makes me really happy. I think my double page layouts, they are always photo heavy because a lot of them are um, event based, and so it makes me feel really productive when I can fit in lots of photos in there. Not necessarily, I don't want to say that I put all of the photos that I take in my pages, because that is not so, because I take way more than 10 or 12. But I just like to be able to add photos with a lot of my photos with event-based scrapbooking, because like I've said before, the photos really can quickly tell the story and the details of the story without the person having to read the whole journaling. So I'm just going to be matting a few of these photos onto some white cardstock. Because the background is very colorful, I feel like these photos need to stand out a little bit more against them. And I'm sorry for the glare. My photos, I like to print them as mattes, and so they have that matte finish, and so when the light strikes it, it has this glow that it creates. And one of these days I am going to find the perfect lighting setup for my videos, but for right now it's just gonna be like this. And I've tried many different angles, but with the way my video is set up, I have to have the light right on the top and not on the side, because then it will cast some shadows with the type of stand that I have right now. So now I've pre-cut all of my items. Now I'm gonna trim my photos so that they're all the same size. So these 4x6 photos will be 4x4, so that it will match the length of my 4x6. Just trimming some of this down so that when I overlap them, they didn't have too much space. And I think I'm going to trim just a little hair from my pattern paper background. I say pattern paper because this is the back side of a pattern paper. That's what I use for my white cardstocks. It helps me to use up my stash because the other side of this is usually a side that I don't care for anymore, or the pattern that I don't really want to scrapbook. And so instead of not or keeping that paper with the pattern that I don't like and just letting that sit in my stash, I actually use the back side of it so that it will be used up in my scrapbooking. And if you have watched my videos, I like to leave just a little bit, maybe a 1/4 inch frame all around my page. I like that there's the frame around it because it grounds the page for me. It's not like for me anyways, it feels like if it doesn't have that little frame, that 1/4 inch frame all around, it feels like my page is floating. Now, that doesn't mean that I never do the pages that you have all of your items just go all the way to the edge. Sometimes I do that too, but for the most part, I like the 1/4 inch there. It just gives that really nice finished look, in my opinion anyway. So that's what I'm doing here. When I adhere my photos, I make sure that I leave a 1/4 inch on the top and also on the sides of it, not on the centers, because when you butt the two pieces of paper together, then they're just one whole stream. So I like that part, but the edges I like to give that a little bit of an edge. Now, as you can see, that left side didn't have an edge, and I will realize that a little later, and so I'm going to try to pull that photo back up and then create my 1/4 edge. See? So now I'm going to be pulling that up, and thankfully the adhesive that I use is flexible enough that I can move my photos and then it won't destroy the paper in the background. And like I said, these photos are from my son's 11th birthday, and so I just have a bunch of pictures of him showing off all of his presents. And then um, on the top and then on the bottom are pictures of his presents all together, and then a picture of his cake, and then his, I think the 4x6 photo, which will be the focal point photo, is when he was blowing his candle on his cake. I had to trim those papers down. I cut them into, I believe, 2x2, no, 2.5x2.5, I think. And no, it must have been 3x3. Yeah, 3x3 pieces. Now, because I do have that 1/4 inch edge, that I needed to trim them down a little bit more so that I can include that frame without the papers being a little bit weird, because then I would only be cutting the one on the center of it, of the whole page, instead of all of them. I hope that made sense. And then I am leaving a little bit of space in between those squares so that they have a nice and finished look. So I don't know if you noticed that, but I don't like my double page layouts moving a lot for me. And so what I do is I just grab a little piece of washi and I put that on the top corner of, or on the top center of my 2-page spread. This helps me to eliminate the moving, and then it also keeps everything in place while I'm working on it. Here I'm just trimming everything down, and then I'm going to adhere it. Now, hindsight, I could have inked the edges of these items or these blocks of paper, but I think when I was doing this, I wanted to get it done because I just had other things on my plate at that time, and so the inking kind of went out the door. Do you ever feel that you have these ideas, but then you just don't have the time, and so you simplify by skipping all of those little steps? And I do that sometimes. Actually, let's just face it, I do it a lot these days because I just don't have time to scrapbook, and I've really tried to streamline my process, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So here I am adhering all of the other items on my page. And so the sketch that I'm following had banners on the left side of the page. Now when I put the banners on the furthest left, it just didn't seem like it worked there, because I felt like if I were to put it on the farthest left, that I need to put it somewhere on the farthest right as well. That's just how my brain works. Like I have to add something on the left if I'm doing it on the right, and vice versa. So to kind of get away from having to do that, I put the banners on the kind of center, slightly centered on my page, so I don't have to add banners onto the left. I am going to add some scrolly type stickers onto parts of this layout, which I don't think it's going to show on my video because my video cut out. But I'm going to add some swirly stickers, very old ones I have to add, and they are from KI Memories, and they're going to be in 3 different spots on my layout. I am going to add my type journaling on the left side, and then I'm going to add my title there. Now, if you have not seen my tip video about me cutting out a bunch of fonts, or no, titles with kind of a scripty font, you can look that up in my channel, and I am going to try to link that in the description below as well. I did that maybe a couple of months ago, and I've been loving it because I have these ready-made words that I can incorporate with my titles, and I've cut them in black, and I have used them on almost all of my layouts. I'm sure you've seen them and you've noticed them in my previous double page layout series videos, because they're just really useful, and it makes my scrapbooking efficient when I have those words. And I decided to just use words, not like long titles, because like here I have the word celebrate. So the celebrate could be used in so many different types of layouts. It could be for birthdays, of course, and then it could be for anniversaries and graduations and even holidays. So I kept my words just very generic, and so it will work. There's my little guy showing me his cup, and then I'm going to stamp the title, the date on the bottom of my title, and then it's not going to show the swirlies, but I do my swirly stickers, and then but I do add a few close-up pictures on at the end of this video, and you can see that there. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you with double page layout series number 9. Bye guys.